what's the cheapest PSA 10 base set first edition Charizard you've ever bought?
Maybe 700. I remember getting one in 2000 for $700.
Wow.
$700 for a PSA 10. Remember, back then, people were not grading. I'm the one who started the great PSA grading of Pokemon cards, besides the ones that were brought over for the Japanese promos from Japan that went on the Shop at Home network and that. Besides those, the English ones, I was the first one to start grading, along with Birdman, Eddie Brenna-Schultz, him and I. Maybe you know, me and my friend Eddie have graded 76 of the 125 PSA 10 first edition base Charizards. We've graded 76. We have paperwork, old paperwork from PSA showing that. And you can check the pop report now, and you'll see there's 124 or 125 minus one, the one Logan cracked.
Yeah.
That's like a 400x return.
That's crazy. Who was selling it?
A very unfortunate person.
Yeah. But it's worked both ways, because in the very beginning, I did sell some stuff, and I had a young man, well, a man in his 30s, come up to me at a recent card show and showed me a card that he said I sold him 26 years ago, and it was a shadowless PSA 10 Charizard. And he said, you know, Gary, you wouldn't remember me, or you wouldn't remember this, but when I was young, when I was a kid, you sold me this card in a shadowless PSA 10 in that, and which of course I wouldn't remember now. And he purchased that one for $350, he said. Wow. So, and now that card, you know, of course is.
What do you think that's worth? $175,000, $200,000?
I would say over 100,000, but I'm not really exactly sure. I do have 10 PSA 10 shadowless Charizards myself.
And what I find remarkable is that you were on the podcast 5.5 years ago.
Yes.
And I watched it back, and a lot of what you said ended up coming true. You said at the time that the Pokemon market was a bit inflated because of Logan Paul's involvement in videos. And you said, wait 2 years, and that is a good time to buy. And sure enough, that was 2022 at the bottom of the Pokemon market. So you're correct on that. The other thing you were correct about is that you said that you believed a BGS 10 Charizard would outperform real estate. You're also correct on that.
Yes. Being accurate with those estimates and guesses really are because I've been collecting for 60 years. I've seen the good things come and go up and down, and I've seen the staying power. I mean, I've seen everything from the Michael Jordan rookies, you know, the Fleer rookies, all the way up to the O.J. Simpson rookies, and what's happened, you know, with these things over time. And with Pokemon, from the very beginning, I didn't see it as an investment, but I knew it was a good investment for anybody who wanted to get involved in that, because it had a few determinants that were unmistakable for anybody who's been collecting for that many years. They've seen so many things. And on the opposite side, I've seen like Beanie Babies, you know, it was a real bad one. I've seen how they developed, what happened to them, and that's information, you know, that you can use later, you know, in what you decide to collect or not collect. So I would just say it's because of my lifelong collecting gene that's always had me paying attention. And I knew, and you asked me today about Pokemon. And Pokemon, yeah, it's going to have spikes, but the bottom line has been steadily up for 27 years. Okay, it's been steadily up, and sure, you've had these things, but it's been steadily up. And I've always believed that for 15 years after they produce their final set, that hobby is a beautiful thing to experience. That's for sure.
So since we are a bit of an investment podcast, I'm curious, since we filmed 5.5 years ago, which card has had the best return?
but a lot of it isn't just the card, it's the people involved. What Logan Paul did with the illustrator, with that Pokemon illustrator. I mean, that's I would say that's probably performed, one of the best dollar-wise. Character-wise, Gengar was never that big of a deal. He was always kind of cool, but he was never, ever anybody's favorite. Now, half the hobby, he's their favorite. And so everything with Gengar on it has done incredibly well.
Why is that? Why did he just become so popular all of a sudden?
That one I wish I had the answer to. Characters like Pikachu, of course, and Charizard, they were givens. Lugia started off big, real big. A lot of those guys ended up big, but Gengar was never, that consequential until, a few years ago, and it just took off, and I'm really not sure why.
It's interesting. All of the Pokemon that you're saying are the Pokemon that when I was a kid and I was playing the games, I still play the games to this day, but when I was a kid, those are the ones I liked. Like, those are the ones. Gengar, I picked out, and I was like, every single run, I have to have a Gengar. Like, I love Gengars.
Okay.
So maybe what you have to do is just like look back on when you were a kid and the things that excited you. Everyone loves Alakazam.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Maybe there's some value to be seen in Alakazam cards. Whenever you do a run, everyone always wants to get the Abra. It's hard. It teleports away. Like that could be another one.
Well, that's a good tip. That's actually a really good tip. You asking me that question, now if it's something besides Pokemon, I look back to, what really rang my bell the most when I was younger, when I was a kid or whatever. And why would my feelings be any different than the majority of the people around back then? So that could be a good thing. I mean, Gengar was a good card to use in your deck in that, but now it's a collector's special, right? So.
And really quick, I gotta say, something that Jack and I have been trying to do a lot more lately is just to remove the annoyances that quietly waste time and energy, because those things add up fast. The thing is, we're always on the go, we're always trying to get to the next thing, so having a cleaner setup and a little more control in your day really goes a long way, and that is exactly why we absolutely love MagBack. The MagBack Elite case is so much more than just a case. It has the finger loop for a secure grip, side grips that feel great, a pinky pillow for comfort, and a built-in kickstand when you need it.
That is all built to make everyday use way better. And it also just comes with a screen protector, so that's one less thing that you have to worry about.
Then they also have their MagBack 3-in-1 home multi-charger that keeps everything clean and ready to go. You drop your phone, AirPods, and Apple Watch on it at night, and by morning, everything is charged in one place. What I really like about this is that it's not just like a mess of wires that looks awful. I don't have to try to plug and play and which one does what. It's all in one place, and it looks incredibly clean, and it just makes it easy.
I kid you not, Graham and I are genuinely huge fans of MagBack. I use their wallet, I use their phone case, and also on the side of my Tesla screen, I put my phone up there. It is so helpful. Check it out with this footage. I can guarantee if you're on Apple or Android, they have something for you. So if you want to make your setup cleaner and way more efficient, definitely check them out with the link down below, and don't forget to use our code, which is also down below.